got like a dark cocoa smell.
Yeah, these things are legit.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very chocolatey. Very, very dark chocolate.
This is going to be good.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Cigars in the Barn. We're going to be doing one of our first YouTube reviews.
Yeah.
We're excited about the Cain FF today, and it is a purely Nicaraguan cigar. It's what they call a Nicaraguan puro. It's a torpedo. Torpedo shape, meaning that it comes to that point, looks like a torpedo. Every time we do a review, we always like to do a pre-smoke inspection. What that means is we're looking at the craftsmanship, the construction, we're checking the wrapper leaf, make sure that there's not any major flaws in it. We're looking at the pack, we're feeling the pack, we're smelling it. We're doing all sorts of things to try to start the cigar well. A lot of our ratings actually are from the construction of the cigar, because good construction means a good cigar. Maybe the flavors are a little bit off, maybe not your flavor profile, but at least you're not going to have burn issues, you're not going to have draw issues. So it all starts with the construction for us.
And ultimately that goes into the whole experience. You want a good experience with the cigar, and if your experience, I mean, you might have some flaws here and there, things happen, I mean, that's just part of it, but the experience itself is a big portion of it. So if you're not getting a good experience, it's not going to be a good cigar, even though it might taste good.
Right. So right off the bat right here, very chocolatey, very rich, deep, earthy, just, it's like a chocolate bar in your hand. It's
it
so
really
good. The pack is done well. There's no large veins, mostly small stuff, and there's no soft spots. So it's pretty firm too. I mean, this thing is really packed in there. We're going to cut it up. We'll also do a cold draw, and we'll explain why we do that as well. The thing that I really like about torpedoes is you can control your draw a little bit. I like mine a little on the tighter side. Not tight, but on the tighter side, because I don't like to have to worry about how fast I'm taking my draw in. A colder smoke is a more flavorful smoke. The way you keep that smoke cold is you take a slow draw. So the reason we cold draw as well, it's going to give us a little bit of some flavors, something we can put in the back of our heads later if we can't figure out what that one flavor was, but we took a cold draw. Okay, it was kind of more of that side. We also check the draw. And we just make sure that the draw is good, and we can adjust it from there. I mean, to me, it's so earthy and so rich. It's still chocolate. It's like this is a straight chocolatey cigar to me.
There we go.
Good draw.
Yeah, not bad at all.
All right, let's get them lit, and we'll go from there. Lots of flavor.
Yeah, it's very flavorful.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Tons of pepper. Tons of dark black pepper. Not a whole lot of sweetness. I'm getting tons of spice, tons of pepper. Not a super creamy, oily smoke. It's on the drier side on the smoke, but it's producing plenty of it.
Oh yeah, it's got good smoke.
And that pepper just sits in your throat for days. It feels like it's going to be there. If you like strong tobacco flavor, which a lot of it is that spiced pepper, black pepper flavor, especially in the back of your throat, this is definitely one for you so far.
Yeah.
One thing you can see, I'm getting tons of smoke off the foot. Not necessarily something I really like, but it happens. I mean, it's on fire.
Yeah.
It's going to smoke. But look at how much smoke's coming off the foot.
Yeah, mine's going real good. So,
just something to note. So hey, if you're watching and you're wondering, what are these guys all about? This is what we wanted to do today, is talk a little bit about what we're about, where we come from, what our intentions are, so that you can buy into what we're trying to sell, basically. You can buy into the lifestyle that we're trying to promote. One thing when we started this, we were talking more about, hey, let's just get out there, let's get out in the barn, let's smoke cigars, let's do reviews, and just hang out with family and friends. That was our number one focus. And over the past little bit of time here, it's kind of morphed more into a support system or a launching pad for some of these smaller businesses. we live in a small town. We really promote small businesses. We actually own a couple of different other small businesses as well. We believe that small businesses are the heart of America, and we wanted to promote some of these smaller businesses, specifically tobacco manufacturers or cigar manufacturers, small tobacco farms, different places that they don't have a huge support system. They don't have a huge following. We wanted to hopefully get more people to follow what they do, and that's really what we see ourselves doing, is building ourselves a platform that small businesses can use to launch off of. So, like I was telling Matt earlier, we feel that the issue with starting a small business, especially in the cigar world, is we're so review-based. And everything's on Amazon unless it's got a 5-star review, I'm not going to even look at it.
Right.
If it's not reviewed at all, it's probably trash. So it's really hard for these cigar manufacturers to get reviews. They can't get their product out to people to review unless people A, know that they exist, and B, are willing to do a review. And that's what we really are trying to hopefully do, is get some partnerships with some of these smaller companies, and get you guys, our followers, some cigars so that you can flood them with reviews, so that when people go to their website and check them out, they can see this is an honest review. We have X amount of reviews, and it got 4 stars, 3 stars, 1 star. If it's bad, it's that's the way it is. We're going to be honest all the time. But we're trying to launch some of these small businesses off.
Yeah. And I think that's the key is you can name all the big ones. We know all the big ones for those that smoke cigars. They've had them. We kind of want to go to those rare breeds, those small companies that no one's ever heard of. I mean, just in the short time that we've been doing this, we've learned a lot about some small companies that we never would have heard about if we didn't even try to look into them. And we've had some great discussions, which you're going to see as these episodes come. Some of the discussions we've had with some of these smaller cigar companies. Great people, love life, and they promote a good, healthy lifestyle in the sense of wanting to live to be good people. A lot of them have a good, firm background, want to provide for their families, and that's kind of what we want to do too, is be able to help them continue to further expand, what they're working on and what their dream is of having a cigar company or having cigar lounges or having their own farm to be able to grow their own tobacco. I mean, how cool would that be to be able to grow your own tobacco and not outsource and things like that? So that's kind of what we're doing. Those are the things that you're going to see, and that's going to be upcoming on different episodes. And we've got some great interviews lined up. The content that you guys are going to get is going to be great. You're going to learn a lot of things that we're learning.
Yes. And
you're going to learn right along with us. So enjoy the ride. It's going to be a lot of fun. We look forward to it. We really, really do.
Yeah, and speaking of learning, we're going to be doing a lot of different stuff. We're going to have the YouTube channel. Obviously, you're watching this, so that's going to do a lot. It's going to get a lot of exposure as well. Follow us on the Instagram as well. We're going to be doing that. Something we do there. We do a daily quote every single day. Yep. We honor fallen police officers. We do those things. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to do some informationals and history lessons, because we really feel that cigar smoking has a bad reputation, and it's not necessary. This is not smoking a cigarette for a fix. This is not. This is a social, conscious decision that we're making every single time we smoke to enjoy what this planet has provided for us, and it's really a social thing. It's about what hands have touched this. About the experience that we're sharing together, where you guys are sharing at home. That's what cigar smoking is about. It's about the flavors. It's about the nuances. It's about the history. It's about the culture. And we're going to be doing informational posts on that. You can check out Cigar Study on the podcast. Also on the YouTube channel, we'll have a folder for those as well, where we do some of that stuff. We're going to be doing some product reviews, unboxing. Right. Obviously, we're doing cigar reviews. And hopefully, if you're a company out there and you want us to review some stuff, let us know.
Yeah,
we'll set something up. Talk to Matt.
Yeah, let me know. I mean, you can email us, cigarsinthebarn@gmail.com. Again, we're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. You'll see some funny videos there. We also got Twitter. We're on Facebook. Our YouTube channel. Email us. Let us know what you guys want to see. If there's something that you've been wanting to try, let us know. We'll try it. That way you don't have to waste your time if it's not a good one, and we can tell you our experience, and then maybe it's something that you want to do, or maybe it's something you don't want to do. But remember, the work that goes into these cigars it's not just a machine putting these cigars together. These are hand rolled, handcrafted. They're put together by people that are working hard, just like people that are working on cars. They're working on airplanes. This is their livelihood for a lot of people, and it's worldwide. That's a great part about it. So it's taken into the understanding that there's a lot more to it than just smoking. It's a fine art in a sense. It's something that you really want to enjoy. It's an opportunity. I mean, if we really wanted to take our time, or we wanted a quick fix, we'd smoke a cigarette, be done, and we wouldn't have a YouTube channel.
Yep.
But we want to sit here and talk to you guys. We want to explain what we're doing, why we're smoking a cigar the way we are, why we do certain things to help you guys do the same thing. And again, we live in an area, in a small town. It's got farming. We live kind of on a smaller type farm setup, which you guys will see as time goes. And we're in a barn. This is a legitimate barn. So I don't know if you can hear the rain coming down. It's raining on us right now, but we're in a barn. And we're enjoying smoking cigars in the barn. And I need to stop talking because I think my cigar is going to go out soon.
I'll take it from here.
Flavor's consistent right now. Still the same.
Mm-hmm.
Peppery. It's got a good... The taste is very good. It's not real long, but it lasts just enough so you get a full hint of it, and then by the time you take your next puff or next draw, it's there. So and it's not overpowering by any means.
I'm kind of almost getting a caramel.
I could see that.
Maybe not sweet though, but maybe a caramel almost. When I took that last draw and held it in my mouth for a little bit, swished it around in my mouth, I almost picked up a little bit of a caramel taste.
I could see that.
Which is interesting because you don't get that a lot.
Yeah, and it's not real bitter, which is...
It's not.
It's like... because I think it has that cocoa flavor to it. It takes away a lot of the... not necessarily the bitterness, but it's just very, very mild.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Strong, but in its harshness, very, very mild. What you're trying to say.
Yes.
I swish it around a little bit, and you pick up that... There's something there, and I'm excited to see what that ends up, because it's probably going to... What we would hope is it would transition into second, third, and really push that flavor out, and we'll be able to really distinguish what it actually is, but it's almost a caramel to me.
You know, we're building up our humidor. We're building up our favorites. We've done a couple that we really, really enjoy that we know that we're going to buy again. There's some that, if you look at some of our previous podcast and or some of our reviews on the website, we didn't like them too much.
So like Matt was saying, we like what we like, but we're not going to tell you what you like. You like what you like. That's why there's such a variety in cigar manufacturing. You can find the things that you like. We're going to give you honest opinions about what the flavors are. We're going to give you the facts. If you like a specific flavor profile, we're going to give you what those look like. But on our ratings, it's going to be slightly biased only because we tend to like a little bit stronger cigars, a little bit more fuller body cigars. Right. What's fantastic about it is everybody has their own different blends. We were just talking to Desiree from Drunk Chicken Cigars, and she's doing some amazing stuff out there in the DC area, and it's another small business that needs your support, especially during these hard times. Yes. So we ordered 5 packs from her, so she's going to be sending those to us. We're going to be reviewing them. Find the one cigar that you... Chicken. Find that one cigar out of those 5 that you like, or order the whole 5-pack. We have a promo code. We'll attach that as well. Just for listening to Cigars in the Barn, you do get a little bit of a discount there. So go support one of these small businesses as well. Yeah, definitely. It's hard times right now, and we know that. So just reach out if you can. Have some good cigars from small companies, and they're good quality cigars, good premium cigars, just as much as you would get from any big name out there. So, share the wealth. Like I said, the burn's still a little wavy, but it keeps itself going. It's not causing any problems. I haven't had to touch up at all. So that's something that I like about a good construction. It may not be super pretty, but it's okay as long as it doesn't cause me problems. I'm fine with it. Right, and again, it's the experience of the cigar. So if you're not worried about how the burn is, if you even know what we're talking about when it comes to the burn, it's just talking about how it's burning through the cigar and trying to be as even as possible. So if you're not worried about that and the experience is great, then it's not going to be a problem.
which for the most case, not every cigar is going to be that way with the burn. But if it's an enjoyable cigar that you really enjoy that experience, it's a good cigar. Right. One thing you'll kind of notice as we have our podcast and have different people on as well, we talk about promoting a certain lifestyle, that country lifestyle. Obviously, I think you can tell by Cigars in the Barn, the name, where we're at, what we're doing. It's kind of more of that country living. And that's kind of what we're promoting and talking about too. Being self-sustaining, being able to kind of support yourself. I think one thing that Chip and I and our families have really appreciated out of all this is, they welcomed us to be a part of this, and we've taken it on. We enjoy it. And I think that's something that we're going to start living our life as, is more of the homesteading type lifestyle. Because really, in a time like this right now, it's hard. I mean, we see the way people are acting, the things that they're doing, taking up all the toilet paper and stuff like that. But if push came to shove, we would be able to sustain ourselves here for quite a while because we have the food available to us. We've got pigs, there's sheep, there's different things here that we could use if we had to, and plus the chickens, with the eggs and things like that. So that's kind of what we're promoting, along with the cigars and the reviews and stuff like that. So there's multiple different things you're going to learn, multiple things you're going to learn about us, and it's going to be a lot of fun, really enjoyable. So we hope that you take that on and maybe even think about it. Even if you don't live that lifestyle, that's fine, but maybe think about it a little bit. It'll change your mind, even if you do some research and just ponder over it for 30 seconds, if that's all you get.
Or an hour while you smoke a cigar.
That too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That works even better.
You can think about all your life decisions.
Us being parents, it's difficult sometimes being parents, especially with what's going on right now, because the kids get cabin fever. They want to be outside and playing, and the weather may not be perfect like it is today. So sometimes, when our wives take on the helping out with the kids, and then we do vice versa, where they can go do their girl thing and watch their Bachelor or whatever they do.
Yeah.
Everyone has their opportunity to kind of decompress a little bit, and for us, it's smoking a cigar, having good discussions, and it kind of clears the mind. It helps you to just get through these times that we're living in today.
Absolutely. Also, make sure you comment your favorite cigars. Mm-hmm. We want to see what you guys are smoking as well. If we haven't had one before, we want to try them. So give us your guys' recommendations on what your favorite brands are, what your favorite blends are. We're going to be doing reviews on certain brands. We're going to be doing the history of certain brands. We're going to be doing, maybe not reviews, maybe overviews.
Yeah, overviews.
We're going to be doing overviews of different brands. So we want to know who you guys want us to cover. We want to do some research for you guys and see if we can contact with those brands as well. And maybe they'll send us some information that we can use in that. So we all want to learn about what's going on. Every single day, if you're not learning something, you didn't do your job for the day. You got to learn something new every single day. And like we were saying before, we want to learn more about the unspoken cigar manufacturers in America. So much flavor is coming out of that smoke.
Yeah, it really is. It's a great thing about this. It like leaves you wanting more.
Yes, it does.
You're looking forward to that next puff. That draw just it entices you for the next one, because you just, that flavor, it stands out. At least I can say, with the smoke from the foot, the aroma of the smoke isn't one that you don't want to smell. So it's actually enjoyable to smell it. It's not overpowering. It's not a lot. So at least it's enjoyable, because there's some cigars you're just like, well, that's just way too much. It's too strong or too bitter. But it's still got a nice subtle aroma to it.
Right.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, this is not one of those cigars that you're gonna stink after.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very naturally rich tobacco smoke smell. Yeah. It's almost sweet. The smoke smell is sweet. The cigar's not sweet. The smell of the smoke is sweet. So it's really cool.
If you guys have listened to any of our podcasts before, it's funny the way I know a cigar is good that I like. Well, I know personally I like because I was smoking it. But I'll walk in and my wife the first thing she'll say is, I either like it or I don't, just by the smell on me, and I can tell if it's a good cigar by that. She's not really an avid cigar smoker. She'll smoke every once in a while, but it's one of those things where she'll let me know right away. I don't like that, or yeah, I enjoy that smell, that aroma to it.
Yeah, must have been a good one.
Exactly.
She says stuff like that. Must have been a good one.
Yep.
You know what I can't wait for? Getting some of these small shop cigars.
Yes.
please, guys, listen to the podcast episode when we interviewed Desiree. She talks about why she picked certain flavors, how they did the process, and we're going to check back with her as well in probably a couple months to see how she's doing. But I can't wait to experience what they like, because they know they like it. They're making these cigars. Right. They blended it themselves. I like getting to know people that we would have never brushed shoulders with before. She's in D.C., well, Maryland, but she's in the D.C. area, and we're over here in California. There's no way we would have never met. No. And that's really cool, is you get to know these people, and you want to support them. You get to know them. You feel like you know them. You feel like you can go to your friends, and when you pull out your humidor and you got a bunch of buds around, and you're like, what the heck? What is that cigar brand? Oh, let me tell you about these people. Yeah. Not about the cigar. Yep. Let me tell you about the people behind it. They're like, wow, you really know these people. How many of you guys know Rocky Patel personally? Not a whole lot. Maybe if you do, have them come on our show. Yeah. But a lot of people don't know the bigger brands because they're just bigger brands. You really get to feel like you know the people, and that I think is going to add a lot of fun to that experience of smoking those cigars.
Yeah, and their story, why they even got started, where did the drunk chicken cigars come from, the name. So it's kind of cool to know these people, and you get a sense of who they are just by a couple of different things that they tell you. So, if you've looked at our Instagram, you saw what her quote was about wanting to try every cigar, and that's kind of the point of it, is that you can't. The great thing with cigars is you don't have to be picky. That's right. But you can be. And it's your choice. So, but listen to that podcast. It was a great podcast, great interview with her. Wonderful lady. Wonderful experience that we had with one of our first interviews we've ever had. And we can't wait to try their cigars. I mean, just the name alone, Mother Clucker. I mean, that's kind of cool. Fat Hen. Yeah, exactly. It's fun. And then that's what makes it enjoyable too, is it's a good talking point. And you can explain to people just by that alone. So check it out. You'll really enjoy it.
And look for our promo code and order something from her. We'll do the reviews, order something from her.
And let us know what you think. Tell us how your experience was.
Yeah, absolutely. And then go on their website and put a review in.
Yeah, please do. I'm going to go out on a whim, and I'm going to estimate that I'm going to get about 3 inches of ash built up on this thing before it falls off. Maybe more. Because of how tight packed this thing is.
Yes, it's going to.
This might even stay the whole way.
Yeah, construction-wise, this is a very well constructed cigar. And the whole reason you want a good even burn is you want all the flavors to be coming in the right order that they're supposed to be coming. You want the whole cigar to. You don't want to be smoking half the cigar because you're only getting half the tobacco, you're only getting half the flavors, you're only getting half the smoke. You want it to be even all the way around, so that you can get the whole experience of the cigar the whole way down. Right. And that's the goal of having a good, even burn. And it's just more visually appealing.
Exactly.
I mean, it adds to the experience. As you see, we like to look at our cigars a lot. When I'm looking at my cigar, I'm looking at the burn, I'm looking at the ash. And honestly, in my mind, I'm thanking the people that put their hands on this thing to make it. And I'm just appreciating what they've done for us.
Yep.
I mean, obviously we pay them for it, so it's their line of work, it's their job, but there's something more to cigar making. There's so much history behind cigar making, cigar manufacturing. I love just appreciating the people that put their hands in it.
And that's the same thing too. As I'm looking at this, I'm just thinking about what they were thinking about when they were making this. Of course, like we said, it was a job, but they do a really good job with this. It's not just like it's thrown together like a hamburger and just handed to you. It's packed tight. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and it's just imagining what they're going through, that I'm able to smoke this cigar that they put together, and being able to appreciate it.
Yes.
That's funny watching it, because if you guys can see here, it's burnt down a little bit more, but it's funny watching it try to catch itself up on both sides. I'm watching it close in on each other.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty neat.
It's fun to watch. It's definitely fun to watch.
So again, it goes in the experience. It's fun. Yeah. It's enjoyable.
Yep. So we just entered that second third, and so far not a whole lot of flavor change for me. I'm still getting that caramel flavor, but not on every single drop. Yeah. Maybe 1 out of 3 I get a good hit of that caramely flavor. It's not a sweet caramel. It just reminds me of a caramel flavor. So I'm not getting a ton of that, Burn has been, like we said before, just fine. Yours is still catching up a little bit. The ash is still on, nice and tight.
Oh yeah.
The draw is still perfect where I want it to be. And honestly, the whole goal is to keep your smoke cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting that caramel flavor on the hotter draws.
Yes, yeah.
So if you want to heat the cigar up a little bit, it is releasing some of that more interesting flavors. I did taste the caramel first when I did in the first third when I did a little bit of a retrohale. That means you're exhaling just a little bit of the smoke. You don't do all the smoke, just a little bit of the smoke through your nose, and that helps because our taste buds, they work well with your nose. So you need to smell the smoke almost. You need to taste the smoke through your nose, so you can pick up some of those more subtle flavors.
Right.
But if you're looking for that caramel hit, you can definitely heat the cigar up a little bit, take a couple more pre-draws, get it a little bit hot, and then take a good draw. And you're going to get a little bit of that, actually a lot of it, of that caramel flavor, which is actually really enjoyable.
I got a little hint of kind of leather, very mild, which is kind of what I really enjoy. But it's still got that slight caramel, that cocoa in it. It's still very consistent. So it's a very consistent cigar, but very good flavor. Very good flavor.
But the strength, medium,
yeah,
medium full. Maybe it might be getting into that medium full as we get into that second, third. Right now, I'm going to call it a medium right now in that first when we're going into that second, third. I expect it to get a little bit stronger towards the end, but right now it's not. It's giving you a little bit of a head buzz,
right?
And maybe if you've never smoked cigars before and you've never really had that nicotine buzz, it might shock you a little bit. That's not why we smoke the cigars, but we do like, just like when you're drinking a beer, you do like a little bit of that buzz to kind of give you that calm mental state to calm you down. This definitely does that without overpowering you with strength.
Yes, definitely.
I am starting to get a lot more of that leather.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the second, third's going to be a little more leathery.
Yeah, I'm definitely starting to get more of that leather. I'm definitely getting a little bit of dark chocolate, similar to the cold draw that we got. We haven't really talked about the dark chocolateness about it very much. We're going to smoke through this second third. We'll check back with you guys when we get to that final third. All right, guys, we're getting into that last third. We had a little bit of a transition for you. All of that black pepper is really subsided. I'm not getting as much of that caramel. Tons of leather now. So if you really like a leathery finish, it's a very strong leather flavor.
Yeah, my favorite. I really like it, especially to end this cigar this way. For me, the leather is perfect. A good way to end it.
And if you look at it, the ash is held on almost the entire stick. It's still cool enough. It's starting to get a little bit warm, so we're going to start closing it out soon here. But overall, to me, my overall impressions of the cigar, I loved it in the beginning where it had that black pepper, that natural earthiness, and then that kind of hint of that caramel, and then it transitioned into even more caramel. It still has that dark chocolate undertone, but in that very last third, it really transitions to a really leathery stick. It didn't get too hot. We didn't have too many burn problems. We did have to do one touch-up each. That's just so that it would burn as even as possible. And overall, that strength really hit that medium full hard.
Yeah, it's got it's very distinct all the way through. It keeps a good consistency of it, but as we've gotten to this final third, that leather started to really kick in, and it's finishing up very well. All right, guys, as we finish up our cigar for today, we appreciate you taking your time to watch this episode on YouTube. We look forward to the many episodes that we have coming up in the near future. Take this opportunity to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and see what future episodes we have coming up next. You can also listen to the podcast as well and get your fix that way if that's what suits your needs.
We appreciate your time, guys. Thank you.